Hello, and welcome back to Every Problem. This is Stewart Calculus, 8th edition, section 1.1, problem number 45. For 45 through 50, it says, sketch the domain of the function. And here we can see it says, f of x equals x plus absolute value of x. Now, this is actually a really interesting function to have because when we have x plus absolute value of x, in a way, you can almost break it up into a piecewise function. And the reason for that is because think about if, let's just do a little thought experiment first. If x is positive, then this x value here, there we go, let's get the right color. This x value will be positive, right, because it's just x. And this x value, absolute value of x, will always give you a positive number, or just 0 if you happen to have 0 as your input. But pretty much the whole idea with absolute value is it will always give you a positive number. So if x happens to be positive, then f of x, your function, it's going to act like 2x because you're just adding the x's together. So that's one interesting thing is if you could almost write, let's see, you could write if x, we could say, what is it? 2x if x is greater than or equal to 0, but continuing on with this thought experiment, what happens if x is negative? Well, back here again, right, with our arrows, if x happens to be negative, then it looks like this value here will be negative, and you're going to add absolute value of x. But if absolute value of x will always give you a positive value, then the numbers will basically undo themselves. So that's pretty interesting because that means that your function will be 0 if x is less than 0. And so, I can't tell you for certain, but it kind of seems like this problem is setting up practice for understanding piecewise functions and sort of how they work. So let's go ahead and sketch the graph of the function. Maybe something like that, very roughly. And if x is less than 0, then it's just going to be 0. If x is greater than 0, then we're going to have 2x. And that is the answer to problem number 45.